Hello guys, good morning from Dhaka, Bangladesh. Welcome back to the channel. Today in this episode we're going to travel back in time a little bit and we're going to be talking about few gems that are excellent fragrances. They were cherished ones. They are very popular. Nowadays we are seeing a lot of this sweet trend. Basically everything is sweet and everything is like clubbing, a little bit younger. So trend changes, over the decades. There's a time there was maybe oak moss, a little bit of a Paco Rabanne, Kouros that time, and first few fragrances like Chanel No. 5 and Jean Patou Joy and stuff. Those fragrances were more classic. Those are before my time, but during my time growing up, I smelled many of these fragrances, and there are plenty more out there which I didn't feature, like fragrance like Polo Green or Safari. Okay, so those are fragrances I smelled when I was growing up. Okay, so I actually added few. Some of them are lesser known, lesser popular ones, but seeing the trend today, I really feel this era of fragrances were better. Okay, and I'm not just saying this because I'm from the generation, I'm old folk, maybe, yeah, but emotions, I'm just trying to speak from my heart. Okay, those who are my age or 30s, they can relate. Maybe your fathers used it, fragrance like Jacquard Noirs and stuff. So yeah, hopefully you'll enjoy these are fragrances worth hunting down. They have some character, they had some identity. When I see the word, it sounds so wrong anyway. So identity, okay, doesn't get better, it gets worse. Okay, but these fragrances had character, and you could distinguish this fragrance in the air, once, and you could tell like you're wearing this, right? Nowadays you smell one thing. Funny thing is, people say, let's say you're wearing Hypnos, they say you're wearing Pseudonym, right? That is an insult to a lot of people, and I find it funny. But if you smell some of these fragrances, they don't smell anything like, some of them have some dupes, but you actually will hear people saying the exact same fragrance. They guess the right perfume. Okay, you'll see what I mean. So the first fragrance I want to show you is one of my favorite fragrances. This was like, these fragrances were iconic at that time. There are not many perfumes out there, so everybody knew each cologne very well. This is Dunhill Desire Red, more modern version. Older versions, the writing would be at the side. I had a very vintage version, first batch, then I had some older batches. These are extremely potent. Even at this point, Dunhill Desire Red, performance wise, is beautiful, and you can see I'm holding this, it shows character, like red bottle. Okay, and it's like a cool, like a metal flask, or like alcoholic beverage holder, or something like tin canister. I don't know what you call those things, like container, right? It has that flask feel, right? So this one, the cap is like, Jeremy does that with CH-Man Privé, right? But this one also had it before. When I smell this, it transports me back. Okay, I may speak a little bit much, but I'll tell you a story. This one, when I used to own, like when I was in my 20s, and I remember, like, I smelled it like everywhere, like Boss Bottle, these, everybody used to rock this, Cool Waters, Aqua di Gios. This perfume, people when they wear it, you can smell them from far, and they would project so much. This used to be like around $22, $23. Okay, now these are like 45, going upwards. But that's not the fact. Fact is, this one is still in production. I hope. I heard that Dunhill stopped making perfumes. I hope it's a temporary thing, but this fragrance was so good. So this was ahead of its time. Like some people say 1 million. I think this was released before it. So some people compared this to that, but this sweetness, like the synthetic sweetness, is amazing. And this fragrance smells like Yatman Red, which I think was following this trend, or this one's following that trend. I don't remember, but these are kind of similar. So nice, sweet, raspberry, fruity, a little bit of a sweet suede leather. Absolute banger of a fragrance, Dunhill Desire Red. So the second one I'm going to show you, this one is the least known, I think, in this list. People would say, I haven't seen this one. Is this new? And new people, like new kids, they will find this fragrance like, totally like, is this cologne or what is this? This is Sique Escape. I purposely took it out today. This is a vintage version, old version. This is something, when you smell it, the bottle looks very similar to Dolce & Gabbana Masculine or something. There's a perfume I remember, and it smells like, it looks like even some of the Clinique perfumes, like simple glass bottles with this flimsy cap, plastic cap. These are from back in the days. So this time, Sique used to make fragrance like Sique One, Sique Euphoria, these lines. People are not aware of this, right, anymore. People like think, oh, Sique Reveal was the old one, right? So Sique Reveal is much younger to this. So this is a tropical, fruity, floral. You smell banana in there. You smell like tropical fruits. You smell a lot of things. It's like all mixed, and it's like smells great. But you think like, oh, it's like a vacation sort of smell from 90s. Okay, that's how I, smell. And I think it feels like 90s and 2000s a lot, like when people used to wear those baggy jeans, you know, or those, what do you call those brands, trekking, or you know, this mountain climbing with a lot of pockets, you know. I used to wear them, I forgot even the name. Khakis, you know. This smells like that. It smells like, you know, you're going in a safari park, you know, enjoying the day outdoors. Such a great fragrance and such a long lasting freshie. Okay, CK Escape for him. I don't know if it's still in production. This is really, really nice. So talking about freshies, let's continue. Let's go with the proper aquatic, which is not Versace Pour Homme, which is not Acqua di Gio. After a long time, let me show you this beautiful juice. It's like ocean, right? Azzaro Chrome, just bringing back memories. I'm talking slow. I have a lot of memories with this. I got very first bottle of this was a 30 ml little bottle, and I heard so many things about, like, this is a metallic, cool, floral, aquatic, which is amazing, office scent. And then after this, I like Azarochrome Legend more than this, but at first I hated this. You know, I was like, this smells so off-putting. This is something about there, the metallic, the floral tone. It's totally off-putting. It's not pretty like Acqua di Gio. There's like something peppery about it, and it's very sharp. You know, it hits your nostrils directly. You know, it's like offensive at some point. But I came to Bangladesh. You know, I hated this in Malaysia. You know, I had that bottle there. But in Bangladesh, this thing started performing like crazy, more so than Dior Sauvage, okay? And it became my workhorse in a way. So Nautica Voyage and this, I even compared them. They're not the same fragrance, but this is a great little perfume that people don't talk about anymore. I think this is better than many of the Profondos out there, if you know what I mean, okay? Chrome still rocks and very affordable for 200 ml. Next one, let me go a little bit freshy at first, but then it goes a little bit sexy, powdery thing. And I know many of you say, hey, man, the new ones are so much better. I would definitely agree. But Jean Paul Gaultier Le Male, okay? This was one of the fragrances which gave birth to Ultra Male, all the summer editions, Superman, Popeye, all those limited time releases, under editions. Sorry. And then, you know, you see nowadays Le Male Le Parfum, Le Male Essence de Parfum, Le Male Elixir, tons of them, like Le Beau's, you know, they're coming out. But if this one didn't happen, you know, I really like those cute little bottles of Le Male, which are like 30 ml or so. They look slick. And they also have massive 200 ml bottles. I even heard they're bigger ones. But Le Male, it has been reformulated over the years, okay? I never got to smell from a bottle the old stuff, like the potent one. You know, this thing used to be the clubbing king, the sailor, you know, that playboy, you know, that like those guys, you know, like those with the body and everything. This was basically marketed like that, right? So let me put some on. Okay, and this fragrance, the opening, you know, forget about if you don't like the dry down of the lavender and the vanilla, whatever, the powdery dry down. The opening of the mint, first day I sprayed it next to Ultra Male, I could see the differences between the two. I got Ultra Male first, then I got this, because the opening of this is so beautiful. You know, such a classic fragrance. It's like almost going to the barber shop side, but it remains classic, really long lasting. I just love it. I just love, because I remember when I reached Bangladesh in 2016 from Malaysia, I reviewed this from rooftop once, you know, and that time the winter was really nice in 2016. I was wearing my, you know, jacket and I used to enjoy morning walk. The sun was very beautiful in the cold weathers. I was enjoying a cup of tea. This is a fragrance, man. This one is so much better, so much character than many others nowadays. They are children compared to this is a big daddy, okay? If you never tried Le Male, revisit, okay? Or visit rather, okay? Number 6 is one of the fragrance of my era that never got the love. I never seen people talking about this on fragrance channels that this is so great. This is my signature scent, one of the first fragrances that started my journey. Polo Blue EDT, the classic bottle, okay? They have now massive 200 ml. This is an older bottle, not the oldest, but a bit older than the current ones. The new bottles are more upgraded. But this thing, with this beautiful blue nozzle, you can see, this is a true aquatic with that, you know, they say oak moss, and then the aquatic, and then cucumber, all these things. When you smell this, don't worry about those notes, okay? When people say these ones are like very old man smell, when you smell this, it is so refreshing. It's like in the hot summer's day, imagine you bringing back the oceanic freshness, the oceanic breeze in a room, and people be wowed by it. You know, it's like those light, you know, before Sauvage, this was there, you know, before any other Bloody Chanels and everything. Polo Blue was the goat. I love this house because of this perfume, and I'll tell you, okay? So Polo Red, Black, Green, I reviewed everything, but Polo Blue remains my number 1, okay? That is a beautiful perfume. So yeah, I'm not looking at the time today. Okay, number 5, let me show you a classic. This fragrance is not in talk no more. I haven't seen it in my group. People don't post. GIvenchy Pi. The older batches used to have a small pi sign. Okay, in Canada people say P. I don't know why. It's not P, it's pi. Okay, and you see all this writing because it's a tester bottle. Testers are a little bit cheaper, but this fragrance, you see the color of the juice, the bottle. This is unique, right? And this one has that burnt sugar, boozy, vanilla sort of a thing. This perfume is not for all. Okay, some girls love it so much because it has that element of golden, like liquid gold smell, and this perfume is so beastly. It has the soapy freshness, at the same time it has maybe sandalwood or something, but mostly I get that burnt sugar, which is the most unique note. Boozy vanilla kind of smell, warm, sexy, long lasting. Okay, Givenchy Pi, just giving you some ideas. Okay, next one is a fragrance. Nobody mentioned this anywhere. This is one fragrance, very rare, very expensive now. I reviewed 2 from this line. One is the blue summer version. Other one is the OG, which is called Lancome Hypnose Homme. Okay, or Homme. This is for men. They also have for women. I reviewed that as well. Look at the bottle. I call this the twisty. Okay, very, very, very sleek, sexy bottle. Like, you know, those architectural designs, like those buildings from back in the days, which is unique, and it catches your attention. The bottle catches your attention. I remember, I think Clive Owen, my favorite actor, you know, he's such a classic, amazing guy. That guy is an actor. I don't know why he didn't become James Bond at some point, you know, because he has that talent and the looks and the charm. But he was the face of it, and such a great, perfect guy. You know, he's that masculine vibe. This is a masculine perfume. This one has notes like cardamom, mint, bergamot, orange, lavender, amber, patchouli, musk. These are the notes. But mostly what you get is like this powdery, kind of spicy, dreamy kind of fragrance, which will remind you of fragrance like Narciso Rodriguez for him, EDT. And this is like not for everybody. This is like a warm evening, the times where Armani's Code was the GOAT. This was perhaps in the same, you know, vibe. I have a couple of other fragrances that reminds me of this one as well, but Hypnos Homme. I was gonna sell this for very cheap one point. Nobody took it, so I kept it. Okay. Now comes the big OGs. Okay. This is definitely now a classic. This is CK Obsession for him. Not the vintage. Vintage used to have a built-in atomizer, not the cap. But this bottle is not so young also. Man, you know, sometimes, you know, we'll fall in love with different characters, different perfumes over the years, and everybody's love is different from each other. Not everybody loves the same thing. Not everybody is a fan of Dior Sauvage, okay, or Dior Homme Intense. Some people fall in love with something very special that hits them, and it just reminds them of their childhood growing up. This reminds me of fall and autumn. Spicy, amber, maybe a bit of leather, you know, maybe a bit of tobacco that I smell. This reminds me of the color of fall, you know, like this color of the juice, when the leaves are all falling from the tree and you see the whole area under the tree is covered with this gray leaves, you know, which are drying, you know, which are already, you know, lifeless. And back in the days, the fall and winter was so beautiful. You would not hear that much of honking, not much of people being panicking. Everybody's relaxed, everybody's enjoying the winter, and then they are putting up classy clothing and just warming up a little bit, and they put some spicy perfumes. When people used to pass me by, my uncles, my elders, you know, when I smell this on them, you know, this is no less than any niche perfume in my world, okay, that good. And there were stories like how they, in India, they trapped the tigress or cheetahs using this smell because they're apparently attracted to this. I don't know, okay. So CK Obsession is such a great fragrance. Check out my review. I love this perfume, okay. I'm sorry, I have a little bit of a situation going on, okay. Sorry. Number 2 and number 1. Actually, let me skip, because number 1 has to be special. Number 2 is this. Have you seen this bottle anywhere? This is Dsquared HeWood, okay. There's a whole line, Dsquared HeWood, Ocean Wood or something, and then Rocky Mountain Wood. I reviewed 4 or 5. This one now is replaced by Dsquared, like this, like taller bottles. They basically smell kind of similar, but cannot touch the level of these violet leaves, woody, you know. And these bottles, man, take a look at these bottles. You see them from far. Don't they stand out? Atomizer at the side. Take a look at this cute little dwarfy atomizer. I keep these fragrances for a reason. You know, I have another one that juice gone bad, but I still keep it. Don't know if it's still nearby. I'll try to get it. Oh man, it's all messy. Oh no, it's fallen back. No, it's went deep down there. Okay, that one is like the top note has gone bad. Let me see if I can get it. Sorry about that. That's what I do sometimes. I just want to show you the bottle. This is Dsquared HeWood. What is the name? And this is too reflective. Let me see if I can read it with my glasses. This is Dsquared HeWood something. Okay, I'll read the name in a bit. Okay, maybe it's in the side. Yeah, this is called Silver Wind Wood. Okay, this is another one, but it's full. And I bought this that time, but I think the opening got a little bit changed because it got age to it. These bottles are amazing. I also have Rocky Mountain Wood at the back. What I'm trying to say, if you really want to get a masculine, like Canadian outdoors, you know, like where you ride horses, it's like a little bit of rocks everywhere before you enter near the mountain in cold weathers, this is kind of fragrance you put. Such a masculine fragrance. Okay, violet leaves, beautifully done, beautiful clean cedar, this kind of smell, and I just love it so much. Nowadays no fragrance can beat this kind of class. Okay, so yeah, if you actually ride like the Wrangler Jeeps, you know, this is reminiscent of that. Dsquared HeWood. I'll finish with number one, which I was referring to when I was talking about this one. I always forget the name. Hypnos, as well as the HeWood. This is the big daddy of those. This is called Fahrenheit, right? I had to finish with a bang. This is 2010 or 12 bottle. This is not the most vintage. The most vintage caps have a little bit shape, right? So those are the ones I never smell. But I remember this smell when I was growing up. This was everywhere. And when this was launched, this was an instant hit. This one sold most number of bottles for Dior, I think. And this one, still in production. All the other flankers, I don't know what happened to them, like Absolute, Aqua, and then, you know, the Absolute, what's the other one? Dior Homme Le Parfum, that was a great boozy one, very difficult to find. But this one, the petroleum smell, this is what this is known for, right? Amazing fragrance. Make another Dior's Fahrenheit equivalent fragrance nowadays. I will give up Fahrenheit for life, okay? But it's very difficult to, you know, recreate a masterpiece, you know, like think of fire, think of the mobiles, you know, engine mobiles being in a petrol station, you know, like a little bit of leakage of oil that's dripped on the floor, or the smoke of the diesel run trucks. Man, there's nothing better than that for a man, you know. When they're growing up, you know, they smell all those, they loved it, right? So yeah, leather, violet leaves, that petroleum sort of smell, and then there's vetiver green and all that, but whatever is in there is just perfection. I have to wear this tomorrow. Dior's Fahrenheit, it's a signature scent. This is the best Dior ever made, for sure. Of course, I love DHI, but I always respect Fahrenheit as number one Dior of all time. Thank you so much for watching. Do let me know what you felt about this. I didn't want to make a very long video, but I got carried away. Okay, so those who lived in this era, hopefully you'll understand the sentiments. Have a nice day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.